Hello, Bill here from Nostalgic Inclination, the channel dedicated to you, all creatives, artists, musicians, and otherwise. Welcome to another video, and today artist Bill couldn't make it because of responsibilities, so I guess in the spirit of the old Billful videos, we'll just do a little cover performance for you here on my Autoharp. So, enjoy. Do you believe in magic? Whoa! You think I'd miss this and let you steal all the glory? What glory? We have like 200 subs. Please, there's a reason you don't do those cover songs anymore with your lousy singing. I'm sorry. Anyway, hello guys. Artist Bill here, and today we're going to be doing the challenge theme horror. And we're going to be doing a piece of art inspired by horror, and if musician Bill can handle it, a piece of music inspired by horror. And I will be using charcoal out of this Castle Art drawing set and Pearl X and gum Arabic from this metallic calligraphy set from Jacquard. So please sit back, like, subscribe, and enjoy. Let's get to it. Okay, first we start with our sketch. We're using an HB graphite pencil from the 40-piece drawing set by Castle Arts. Down in the bottom right-hand corner is footage of me going through the set. I'll leave it up while we draw for a little while. This is not a review or an overview, just a creative project, but I can say this set is superb, and it was a true pleasure to work with. Today I'm using 246-pound linen Strathmore paper for acrylic, which isn't the most ideal for charcoal, but I chose it because I'm going to be mixing mediums with the Pearl X gum Arabic combination, which is basically an ink and has characteristics similar to watercolor. Usually when working with charcoal, most people would prefer a rough surface or a piece of paper with tooth, as they call it in the art world. This acrylic paper does have some texture to it, and I figured it would be a compromise somewhere between the ideal condition for the Pearl X and the charcoal. Here I'm using hard charcoal from the Castle Art set, and I'm using it like you would use a fine liner when inking your sketch. Moving to the tree trunks, I now switch to soft charcoal, which is a little easier to blend and to really work out texture and dimension. We're going to be applying several layers of charcoal, as you will see. Down in the bottom corner, you'll notice that not only did the Castle Arts 40-piece drawing set come with some great tools, but it also comes with some pretty good literature, including a tutorial on graphite drawing, which was where I got the tip to use the HB graphite pencil, which I used in the sketch. Here you see me using a tortillon, or a blending stump, to blend in the soft charcoal, and then we reapply more on top after we blend, adding dimension and layers. In my surrealist worlds, leafless tree branches usually wind up looking a lot like deer antlers, and I'm completely okay with that. Moving on to the Pearl X and the gum Arabic section. This is the craziest medium to mix with charcoal, but that's exactly why we're doing it. So the recipe or formula is 4 parts Pearl X, 1 part Arabic gum, and water to your liking. Here I'm mixing 2 parts super russet and 2 parts true blue to create that purple for our supernaturally illuminated night sky. I found that the Pearl X behaves a lot like watercolor. I am a sucker for all things shiny and metallic, and this Pearl X certainly did not disappoint. In fact, the combination of the super russet and the true blue created a true two-tone effect, depending on which angle the light was hitting the paper from. Definitely not an outcome I was expecting, but one that I'm certainly happy with. In retrospect, if I had this project to do over again, I probably would have used watercolor paper because ultimately that probably would have provided a better tooth for the charcoal, and it would have handled this gum arabic Pearl X combination a little bit better. That said, I do get pretty good results with this paper. I just have to keep the brush moving, not oversaturating in any one spot. Now we'll mix up some argent for the tombstones. Perhaps they're of granite, reflecting the supernatural illuminations. Like with watercolor, the Pearl X acts differently depending on how much water you use. So for the argent tombstones, I use a lot less water and I get a much more pronounced results, which works as a nice contrast against the night sky. When doing these projects, it's all about trying things out. Maybe you'll be the one to discover the next great trick. Or in some cases, you might even pioneer a new art genre. After we wrap up the tombstones, we'll go back and apply another layer of charcoal, sharpening our lines and adding details as we go. I'm using solar gold for the handle of the sickle, and I'm using a combination of argent and pearl white for the blade, and I'm using straight pearl white for the gloves. Now I go in much darker with the hard charcoal, as you can see. I am using swift and decisive strokes with my line work, aiming for that natural fluidity. And then I go back over it with the tortillon, blending in some depth, adding some dimension. Now I'm going to adjust the proportion of the Grim Reaper character. I thought he was a little short. When you're creating art, you have the power to control how tall or short something is. You can see already the reflective qualities of the Pearl X background. I'm looking forward to using it again in a different application. Now we're going to mix up some pure super russet for the ground. This will tie everything together. This is a surreal world, not a real world. And then finally, we're going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to use a black Copic alcohol marker to darken in the space voids. Mission accomplished on breaking the rules. We will get to the finished result after the music segment. When creating horror music, a common trick is to use a diminished chord to create tension. To achieve a diminished chord, you lower the fifth note of a minor triad by a half step. As you can see, despite having 21 buttons, my Autoharp does not have a diminished chord option. So this means I will have to pick the strings individually and hope to hit it. First try, not bad. My Autoharp has a passive pickup, which is really great for recording. As you'll see, now we're going to double the middle section so that we could add effects. We're going to add tremolo, chorus, flanger, and some fuzz. You'll hear the finished result at the end. Now for some percussion, we'll start with a tom. We're going to make a tom pattern using a chromatically pitched tom, and we're going to automate the pitch to descend. We will wind up arranging this and then automating in a wet-dry signal on some delay and both a fade in and a fade out. Moving on to the kick track, I don't do anything too crazy here. I am working with a 3/4 time signature, which I forgot to mention, at 77 beats per minute. We add in a snare and a suspended cymbal for the outro. I will mix and compress these tracks off camera. For the finishing touch, I use Kinetic Treat by Native Instruments for a drone. Thank you for watching.